Good morning, and welcome to today's video from Yoker Evangelical Church. This morning is Friday, the 31st of August, and this morning we read Judges chapter 14 and Acts chapter 18. What would it take to comfort you if your life was in danger? If there was real threat that you might be killed, what would it take to comfort you in that situation? As we read Acts chapter 18, let's be in no doubt, Paul's life is in danger. As we read through the chapter, we keep getting told information to tell us that Paul is facing his death. In verse 2, we find out that all the Jews have been kicked out of Rome. As an ethnic Jew himself, Paul no doubt then expects some kind of persecution from the Roman officials. And in verse 6, it comes much closer to home, as the Jews that he has been preaching to become personally abusive to him. Now, when we read that, we need to be clear. Those are not empty threats. It is not like the abuse that Christians today in this country so often face, that is just words. When they are abusing him and threatening him, they are threatening to kill him. We've already seen through the book of Acts that Christians are killed for teaching the true gospel. So when Paul is threatened, it is real. And so what does it take to comfort Paul? What would it take to comfort you in that situation? Well, Paul gets something pretty amazing. In verse 9, God speaks to him. And for a lot of us, that'll do it. And God says to Paul 4 words to set him at ease. He says in verse 9, one night the Lord spoke to Paul in a vision, "Do not be afraid. Keep on speaking. Do not be silent." Now that might not make a lot of sense at first. It's talking that's put Paul in danger. Some people would look at that and say, the sensible thing to do, Paul, stop preaching the gospel. If you just stop pushing this Jesus stuff, they'll stop threatening your life. You'll be fine. But that's not what God says to him at all. He says, don't be afraid and keep talking. And the assurance comes for Paul in verse 10, where it is that God is with him. For I am with you, God says, and no one is going to attack and harm you, because I have many people in this city. Because God is with him, Paul can face what others cannot. Now it is true as well that if God was not with Paul, then he should give up. He has lots to be afraid of if God is not with him. But if God is with him, then he can carry on speaking, confident of his safety. He can keep sharing this news about Jesus. Now, we don't today have the same promise as Paul. God does not promise our safety when we keep on talking. And in fact, the pattern of the New Testament and through Christian history is often that Christians will face persecution and suffering because of preaching. But this we share with Paul. We have the same God who says, do not be afraid, keep on talking. Paul was able to overlook the danger because God is with him. And so he keeps telling people about Jesus. And that is an encouragement for us today. It's an encouragement that when sometimes the sensible thing seems to be to stop talking about Jesus, it is an encouragement not to be quiet. Why? Because God is with us. If God is not with us, if Jesus is not the Messiah, then we have every reason to stop talking. But if those things are true, if God is with us, if Jesus really is the Messiah, as Paul claims here, then we can share Paul's confidence. We can share his boldness in proclaiming this gospel. The same God that stood by Paul stands by us today. God is with you. Keep on talking. Keep on sharing the gospel wherever you can. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you on the video on Sunday. God bless.